Now, I saw some people online talking about this film, putting it on a list of, like, I guess, best of 2024, even though it is a 2023 release, and it's Strange Darling. It is kind of like a thriller. I could see where it kind of leans maybe a little towards horror, even though it doesn't really. It kind of maybe has some hint of some supernatural stuff going on, but I could see where it can lean in that direction a little bit. But I've seen it on some people's list. I've seen it on some people's worst of list as well. Some people really did not like this film. But there is. I noticed there's only kind of Blu-ray releases of it, except for I did find this 4K release in the UK. Now, it has a Blu-ray in here as well that it probably only plays in a Region B player. The 4K seems to be all regions. It definitely played in my player. But we're going to take a look at. We're going to take a look at this. I'm going to rate the film eventually. I'm going to talk a little bit about the story. I'm not going to give away any major plot twist, and then we're going to take a look at the packaging here. Hi, I'm Dave Watkins, Watkins Films. If you haven't done so already, if you go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel. Now, Strange Darling is told out of order, and it lets you know that it's doing it. Before the movie begins, it says like chapter 3. I think that's the first chapter. There's 6 chapters total, and they're all kind of told out of order for the most part, except for I think the last one, and then there's an epilogue that's kind of told in the right order. But so it starts off with just an action scene, and you don't. It does a very good job of making you think that certain characters are different than they actually are, and that's because you don't know the stuff that happened before. So it does a good job of kind of tricking the audience, even though you know as you're watching it that you're being manipulated. It's pretty clear. It's kind of done in a Tarantino type of way, like Pulp Fiction, even though it makes it a lot more clear the way that they're telling the chapters. Now, I think if they had done this, it still would have been effective if they'd done it in order, but it wouldn't have started out as dynamic. I think it would have been a little bit of a slog from the beginning, because the first 2 chapters are, especially the way they start out, they are a little slower and is build up. But they do a very good job. I think the casting here is great. Willa Fitzgerald plays the Strange Darling character. I think she's billed as the lady in it. She has a red wig on, and she's Willa Fitzgerald. It was in the Scream series, like the show Scream. Some people may not even know about that, but she played the main character in the first 2 seasons of that show. She was also in The Fall of the House of Usher, and she played the young Madeline Usher's. She played the younger version of that character, played by Mary McDonnell. So she did pretty good. I remember. I really liked that particular show anyway. But she's good, really good in this film. She's a very nice showcase for her acting abilities. There's a guy who is chasing her from the beginning, and he's billed as the demon. And the actor's name's Kyle Gallner. I believe that's how you pronounce his name. He previously appeared in A Nightmare on Elm Street, the remake. He's second billed in that film, so he has a major character in the Nightmare on Elm Street remake that most people don't like. But it's pretty impressive that he was able to snag that lead male role in it. And then there's also he was also in the Smile movies. I think he's been in the first 2 Smile movies. So it's a pretty impressive cast, and also included in the cast is Ed Begley Jr. and Barbara Hershey, as some people that they come across. The shows like Willa Fitzgerald's the lady character is being chased, and she goes to their house and she asks them for help. And Ed Begley Jr. and Barbara Hershey, they're not in it that much. I mean, they maybe have like 10 to 15 minutes of screen time, but they have a very big screen presence. I really like Ed Begley Jr. to begin with. He's a very likable guy. Like I said, I'm not going to spoil anything too big in this film, but I will say it is very violent, and it's like there's a pretty good bit of blood going on, and it's all with guns for the most part. Some of it's not with guns, but there's a lot of gun violence. So but I think who knows why people don't like things. You can watch some. I was watching this, and sure, like there were some parts earlier on where it was kind of frustrating because I could tell I was being manipulated, and it was kind of like hurting my head, because I'm like, this is just a little frustrating because I don't know exactly what's going on, but I can tell something different's going on than what it seems. But once it clicks into place, it's all pretty cool. But there's some very almost dark. very, very dark kind of sense of humor to this thing, which works very well. It's shot on 35 millimeter film by a guy who's usually an actor, Giovanni Rybinski. I don't think I'm not pronouncing his name right, but he's a really good actor. He's in The Gift for one, and he's also in Saving Private Ryan. He's in a bunch of stuff, but he's a great actor. Here he shot it. I think he does some voiceover work as well, but he's never on screen. But he did a really good job. I really like the depth of field here. Obviously shooting with a 35 millimeter camera. Is this a brand new 4K release from a new movie? It looks fantastic. I mean, everything. You're not gonna see a lot of film grain because the film grain's gonna be there. It's tight, but it's not like the film's not old, so it hasn't deteriorated to a film grain situation. A lot of this is very vividly shot, depending on the scene. Like I think chapter 1 was shot in a car, and it's almost like a blue color grading over it. And then a lot of, I think chapter 2 is in a hotel room. A lot of the outside stuff, which it starts out with, is very, very vivid. Everything looks very, very, very natural looking, but also not only natural though. The skin tones look very natural, but it also looks almost like the colors just look really, really pop out, especially in this 4K. I haven't seen it in any other way but 4K, but it looks fairly terrific for the most part. And then like I think after that, a lot of it takes place in the cabin and then more outside. But in the cabin, it's kind of natural lighting, and as far as the skin tones look natural. There's no real crazy color grading on it at that point. So let's go ahead and take a look at this package. So it does have a very nice slipcover on it, and then on the inside, the same sort of thing as the slipcover on here. We have a couple of discs. I got just the 4K disc and the Blu-ray. There's a few other items here we're going to look at. We do have a poster. Open this thing up. There we go. It's pretty much the same as the cover here. It's just the poster version of it. Here's some cards we're going to take a look at as well. There's the man built as a demon with a shotgun, and there she is, the lady running. Here it says, "Here, kitty, kitty." Here she is being chased by the car. So it comes with like four kind of postcard things, which... All right, let's go ahead and rate this thing. I'm going to rate the movie itself 3.5 stars, leaning towards a 4. Now, I really did enjoy the film, and maybe if I think about it more, I might rate it higher. I don't know. But right now, upon first watch, I'm going to give it 3.5 stars. We'll see how it over time, if it like fine wine, if it gets better or if it's kind of like forgotten. But I really liked the structure of it, even though it was kind of a little frustrating at first. It was a very inventive way of telling the story, especially being able to tell the story and not really understanding a few things about the characters or how they ended up in certain ways, and then later on finding out what had happened. This release, I'm going to give it a 4-star rating. I really like the slipcover. I do like her with the red wig, even though she doesn't have it on in the film for very long, but it is a very standout type of wig, and she looks really, really good in it. So anyway, let me know what you thought about this film, and if you haven't done so already, go ahead and like this video, subscribe to my channel. I'm Dave Watkins. Thanks for watching.